when I got to the bank, parking lot was loaded with serious police officers. Welcome to another episode of Shutter Stories Uncensored. I'm Mark, your host, and this is an exciting episode. I'm going to talk about one of the bank robberies I covered during my time at the Series Courier, and it was pretty crazy. The day of the robbery, I had got to the paper early in the morning. I was there doing filing, taking care of some stuff, organizing the dark room, checking supplies in the dark room. So while I was doing all that, the Series Courier that morning, a call came across the scanner about a robbery at a bank just down the street on Whitmore, not too far from the Series Courier office. So I jumped in my car with my gear. I yelled at the editor, Jeff, told him I was heading out to that call, see what I can get captured for them. When I got to the bank, the parking lot was full of Series police cars, 3 or 4 of them, and they had secured the scene. A few minutes after arriving at the bank and getting a few photos of all the police activity at the bank, another call came across the scanner. There was 2 Series police officers in pursuit of the getaway car from the bank robbery. They had just got onto Highway 99, heading northbound towards Modesto. I jumped in my car and headed that way. I think I was probably speeding on Whitmore, heading westbound, got onto the freeway. Again, I was probably doing 70 or 80 on the freeway, caught up to the Series police, and they were headed behind the suspect's car, second off-ramp into Modesto. Everybody got off, and I followed the officers off the freeway, parked my car on the side of the off-ramp, and grabbed my camera, jumped out of the car, and I was able to get photos of the police taking all the passengers and occupants of the car out at gunpoint. They took one out at a time, walked them back, secured them, handcuffed them, frisked them, and then walked them to a cruiser police car to get to place in the car and get them taken down to the Series police station for further investigation. Now, they took all the passengers out, got them all handcuffed, patted them down, and got them put in the police car. Got photos of all of that, all the officers and all the guns out, and all the activity, taking everyone out of the car at gunpoint. That wasn't my first time doing that. I've covered several other incidents at the Series police, at the Series Courier, with suspects being taken out of cars at gunpoint. And they usually call that a felony stop. If they're pulling somebody over for a known felony, it's a felony stop, and everybody in the car gets taken out at gunpoint. So once I had all the photos at capturing the bank robbers, that was pretty cool, pretty exciting. I've never been with a bank robbery where they actually caught the bank robbers not too long after the robbery, and that was pretty thrilling. And so once I got all those photos, I decided to head back to the bank just to make sure I got everything I needed to get from there. I just want to make sure I have enough art or images for the editors to use. It depends how many photos they want to run. And when I was back, the FBI had showed up at the branch, and I got a shot or 2 of them investigating, talking with a few customers that were in the bank at the time, and talking with employees of the bank. And after that, I headed back to the Courier to let the editor know what I got, and told the editor that I'll have the film for him and contacts for him later that day. And he was excited about that. He was going to contact the Series police and get all the information, write the story, and I'll take care of the film. that was probably one of my biggest days at the Series Courier as a photojournalist. Definitely exciting, definitely adrenaline rush, but got it got it all done, got the film processed, contacts made, and that was it for that story. But afterwards, when my editor Jeff got all the information, the ins and outs and all that, found out that supposedly the story was that the bank robber and his friends were going to go out to the lake, but he told his friends he needed to stop at the bank real quick and pull out some cash, and so that he would have some spending money out, get some beer and I guess some drinks and food and stuff before they headed out to the lake to hang out there all day. Well, so when he went into the bank, I guess he decided to rob it, or maybe that was his thing all along, just lied to his friends. But I don't know how much I believe everyone saying that they didn't know he was going to do that. But it could be true. That wasn't for me to decide. That's for the police and the detectives and all of them to analyze and figure out. That's all up to them to do. And maybe it makes sense, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. So let me know in the comments below what you think about the story that none of the passengers in the car were aware that that driver was going to rob the bank. That's what they told police, that they didn't know they were going to go out to the lake. Might be true, might not be true. I kind of think it's bullshit story, just trying to save them from criminal charges. But that's not for me to figure out. That's for the detectives and the police to figure out. But let me know what you think. Comment below, and I'll respond to all your comments. I'm just curious to see what all the viewers out there think about the story that the passengers weren't aware that he was actually going to rob the bank. All right, everyone. Now let's talk about another story. This is more kind of behind the scenes story, like the ones I like to share. In the office, doing my job as a photojournalist and as the photographer on the staff photographer for the paper. And I did a lot of things. I did a lot of lab work. I made prints for the screen prints for the paper, so they can paste them up when they're putting out the paper, getting it ready to go to press. And that morning, everything started out fine, and I was just getting all the film, and got all the film processed, got all the contacts to the editors, and was waiting, and just came back from the Shell station. They had to get me a 64-ounce Diet Coke to drink while I'm working in the lab. And all of a sudden, one of the lenses fell out of my eyeglasses, the right eye lens, and it hit the hard floor and it broke. This is back when the lenses were still glass. Now, I still wear glasses, as you can see, but these lenses now are like a certain type of plastic. It can take a beating and keep on ticking. There's still a line from Timex. But at that time, my lenses were glass. One of them fell out, hit the hard floor, and shattered. So that's going to make it really hard to make screen prints for the paper in the darkroom on the enlarger, because I have to close one eye, because the vision's off between one lens and no lens. And my left eye was the worst eye of my two eyes. And so I had to go out to the car, get my prescription sunglasses, and put them on and try to make the screen prints. But, sunglasses, because in the dark room, you got to turn off the lights, and you turn on the red light, but still it's not very bright. And wearing sunglasses makes it a little harder, but I found out a way to adapt, overcome, improvise. I always said that was my motto, to help me get out of tight spots when things went horribly wrong when I was behind the camera or in the dark room or anywhere doing my job as the staff photographer or photojournalist for the paper. And so it made things a lot harder, but I figured out a workaround, and I was able to use those sunglasses to get it done. Right after we got everything buttoned up for Wednesday's paper, so they can go to press, I headed down to my optometrist office and got him started on making some new lenses and glasses for me. But it took a week or two, and I had to keep wearing those sunglasses, and that was really bad, especially if I'm driving at night. That made it really hard. But we got it fixed, we got it done, and I got through it. It could have been a horrible disaster, but it was bad, definitely, but it wasn't as bad as it could have been. You never know what's going to happen in the day of life of a photographer at a paper. You got to be there for the good, the bad, and the ugly, and you got to be able to adapt. You got to have a workaround. You got to have a backup process, and I always had a backup process, and I tried to keep growing and being prepared. I still that from the Boy Scouts, but it's a big thing. You have to be prepared, adapt, overcome, improvise. I stole that from my dad, who was a Marine, and it never failed me. I had some really close calls over the years. Really, some horrible things happened. I'll share more of those stories later on. But I just want to tell one more news story. And again, this story happened about half a block from the Series Courier office. It came in on the scanner that they pulled over a car that they ran the plates, and it came back stolen. So I grabbed my camera and walked over there. It took me 5 minutes to get there, and they had the car pinned to two Series police officers, and it was in a self-service gas station on the corner. And again, guns out, they talking to the suspects through a bullhorn, telling him that they wanted the driver to roll down his window, take the car keys, drop them outside the window, and then to open the door and exit the car. And they took him out or at a gunpoint, and had him walk back to an officer. That officer put handcuffs on him, got him secured, and then got him back behind a patrol car and frisked him, and then put him in the car. And there were one other person in the car. They had them step out next. Same process. Step out, hands in the air, turn around, walk backwards towards their voice of the officer, and got him handcuffed, secured, frisked, and back in a patrol car. That didn't take too long, maybe 20, 25 minutes from start to finish to have everybody out of the car and secured. But again, I got photos of Series police officers with a felony stop taking the suspects out of the car at gunpoint and getting them secured. Again, that was a little exciting, a lot of adrenaline flowing. Yeah, so that was a fun, exciting couple news stories. And what the hell story with my lens breaking in my glasses, that's just crazy, especially on deadline. Worst time it could happen on deadline. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. If you're not a subscriber, man, smash that subscribe button and the bell icon, and share the video. Like it. Give us a like. Give us a share. Subscribe. and give us some comments. Let me know what you like about the channel, if there's something you don't like, or if there's something you want to know, if you have a question on my career, if you have a question on how I got started, if that's something you're looking to get into, just leave me a comment and I'll answer you. I answer all my comments and I'll get back to you. All right, everyone, be safe out there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next episode. Oh, I want to tell you again that starting right now, I'm going to have episodes post on Thursday and Sunday. So I'm doing 2 episodes a week now, and let me know what you think about that. If you like that idea. All right, everyone. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see everyone next episode. All right, everyone, be safe.